This is the brief on The Great Ruler, Episode 111. All right, let's jump into The Great Ruler, Episode 111. This one's a big one. You've got our heroes, Chen and Luoli, facing this really tough villain, Zhen Qiang, plus his incredibly strong guardian puppet. Looks kind of hopeless, doesn't it? We'll break down how they actually managed to turn the tables. First up, Chen's strategy. Seriously clever stuff. He's looking at this guardian puppet. Super powerful, right? We're talking spiritual power trial strong. But Chen, he notices this little glowing leaf seal on its forehead, Zhen's control. So what does he do? He intentionally takes a massive hit just to get close enough to pull off his plan. Gutsy move. Second, somehow he makes it work. Even though he's badly injured from that blow, Chen reaches the puppet's head. He activates this kind of mysterious black seal right over the leaf mark. Zap! Zhen Qiang's control is cut. His best weapon is just neutralized. Totally catches the bad guy off guard. But Chen's hurt bad now, and Zhen Qiang's still got plenty of strong allies around. Guys who've passed physical power trials. The fight's definitely not over. So, finally, Luoli takes charge. She unleashes her ultimate move, the ruined Shen Lotus sword. Think, massive 100-meter Lotus sword made of pure energy. Just immense power, totally shifting the fight. This episode really highlights Chen's smarts under pressure and Luoli's incredible power, flipping a desperate situation.
This is the brief on The Great Ruler, Episode 112. All right, so today we're jumping into Episode 112 of The Great Ruler. It's pretty wild. Basically, after a big fight, you've got these powerful cultivators scrambling for ancient goodies inside this mystical hall that's literally falling apart around them. Total chaos, leading to a desperate escape. First up, we see Ruoli just unleash. Seriously, her Lotus sword, beautiful, yeah, but absolutely deadly. She takes down 9 opponents, even goes up against the really tough Zhen Qiang. Now, Zhen Qiang, in a tight spot, basically hits the hall's self-destruct using this old tree pattern on the pillars. This rips open space itself, these spatial rifts, and kicks up a massive energy storm, all so he can bail and stop anyone else, especially Chen, getting the loot. And yeah, he swears he's coming back for Chen. Second, while everything's collapsing, Chen spots the real prize, this super heavy, heavenly deity guardian puppet he'd sealed earlier. It's huge. He can't lift it alone, so his 4 buddies, Shi Kuang, Zhou Qingsan, Mu Fengzong, and Ruoli, they all pitch in. Together they manage to haul this thing out, barely escaping by diving into one of those spatial rifts. They end up getting tossed into some remote mountain somewhere on the ancient continent. And finally, Chen actually gets partial control of that guardian puppet. He finds this leaf token thing on its head, uses his special 9 nether flame to wipe off Zhen Qiang's control mark, and slaps his own on there, cleverly rigging it to blow if someone messes with it. Problem is, the token's damaged, so his control's kinda temporary. Then, really strategically, Chen takes off the puppet's awesome self-healing green wood armor that's a top-level heavenly armament, super rare, and gifts it to Ruoli. Nice boost for her defense, right? Plus, he spots another mysterious green wood token the puppet's holding, sensing that might be the biggest treasure yet. So the scramble for ancient power wraps up with some fresh alliances and this new focus on mastering these incredible artifacts. This is the brief on Chen's journey into ancient power and perilous cultivation. So, in the latest from The Great Ruler, our protagonist, Chen, basically finds this ancient relic, right? And boom, it cracks open secrets to this huge lost civilization and starts him down a really dangerous road to unlocking some serious power. Okay, first off, Chen gets a look at the true scale of the ancient heavenly palace. Using his special black lightning god body, that's a powerful spiritual form he has, he manages to bypass this intense green light and reaches an old wooden plaque. And this plaque, it just floods his mind with visions of the real heavenly palace. We're talking colossal ruins, an emerald green sky, giant trees, and just boundless spiritual energy. Krinling. It totally redefines what he thought he knew. Second, Chen finds the 9-sun Ganoderma, something absolutely crucial for cultivating his sun god body. Inside these ruins he saw, there's this treasure mountain, and right at the top, a unique Ganoderma with 9 flowers glowing like actual suns, radiating this terrifying spiritual energy.
Turns out this 9-sun Ganoderma is one of 3 incredibly rare treasures he needs for his sun god body cultivation, to seriously amp up his physical strength. It's the kind of thing even super high-level experts, the Zitsune cultivators, would desperately want.
And finally, things get intense. Chen and his companion Ruoli kick off the physical calamity to level up their cultivation. Yeah, to reach that powerful Zizun level, a major stage of spiritual power. Chen starts the first of 3 really dangerous trials, the physical calamity. He has to circulate his spiritual energy to literally transform his blood, flesh, and bone into blood flame. It's purification, yeah, but the pain is unimaginable. And failure means getting burned to ash. He pops a heart god fruit, a rare item, to help manage the energy. Seeing him struggle, Ruoli decides she's not letting him go through it alone and starts her own dangerous trial, the energy calamity. So Chen's latest find doesn't just reveal forgotten history, it shoves him and Ruoli right into a truly harrowing, transformative fight for ultimate power. Okay, this is the brief on Chen's relentless cultivation and, well, the serious dangers piling up around his group. So, here's the deal. Chen and Ruoli, they're pushing themselves hard with some extreme cultivation right in the middle of this big pentagonal contest. Thing is, even though their rank dropped to 14th, they're still super visible, right? And that makes them a prime target for other teams who really want that valuable God Palace tag. Okay, so first, Chen. Wow, he's going through this absolutely brutal ordeal, the physical tribulation. Think intense internal fire, the blood flame, just constantly burning his body. Now, usually this takes like 7, maybe 8 days. Yeah, not for Chen. His strength means it's dragged on for over 20 days already with no end in sight. He even had to eat a super rare god heart fruit just to stay conscious through the pain. Second, Ruoli. Her challenge, it might be even bigger. People think she's facing the power tribulation, which is, a whole other level of cultivation. And here's the kicker. Nobody, not even Chen, really knows how powerful this gorgeous young woman actually is. So whether she pulls this off, totally up in the air. And finally, as if that wasn't enough, their teammates waiting outside, they're getting swamped. Yeah, their location got exposed, and now this huge enemy alliance, like 30 people led by this Chen C guy, is closing in to steal their points and the tag. Chen's buddies Chi Hao, Zhao Qingsan, Mu Fengyang, they finished their own trials fast, in just 5 days, but now they gotta fight like crazy, starting 3 against 5 tough attackers just to buy Chen and Ruoli some time. So, Chen and Ruoli's shot at leveling up, it all comes down to surviving their own inner battles while their friends desperately try to hold off this massive force gathering right outside.
Okay, this is the brief on The Great Ruler, episode 115. All right, so in this episode of the super popular cultivation fantasy, The Great Ruler, things get pretty wild. Our main characters, Chen and Ruoli. They've just hit these major power-ups through their cultivation. That's their spiritual and physical training, right? And bam, they're thrown right into some serious fights. First up, Chen. He finishes his physical calamity cultivation, which is all about, insane physical strength. And get this, he takes this huge combined hit without even using his spiritual energy, his Qi Ling, just pure strength. And he just wipes out the first few guys Shen King sent after him. Then you've got Ruoli. She nails her spiritual calamity cultivation, this huge leap in spiritual power. And wow, she shows up with this mountain-splitting sword energy. Seriously intense. So she and Chen team up, and together, they just demolish Shen King's big heaven-suppressing stone pillar move. Sends him and his whole crew, over 30 cultivators, running. But here's the kicker. Chen lets Shen King get away. Why? Well, turns out Chen's picked up on some other people watching, way more dangerous folks. These uninvited guests? They're led by Wen Qing Xuan. They call her the goddess of war. And yeah, she's the #1 ranked person in the Big 5 Great Academies tournament. So things are about to get even crazier. So yeah, for Chen and Ruoli, the stakes just got way, way higher with these new players on the board.